Hey guys, this is Maniac. Guys, I have a very special video cooperation to this day. Thanks on Dark Phantom for this idea, or rather, I would say for this cooperation because it was his idea to make a cooperation. Mine idea was to make like a top 10 um, cards, favorite cards of us. So stay tuned and look at on the channel of Dark Phantom for his top 5. So it's consistent to the top 10 in general is consistent of the top 5 of Dark Phantom, his favorite monster cards, and of mine. So let's just dive into it. I will present to you my top 5 cards, monster cards of all time. So if we've got first. Oh, sorry. that was the wrong one. That is the 5. That's the 5th Exodia Necros. Guys, this card means so much to me. Just forget about the spoiler. Vampire Lot is coming soon, so much I can tell, but yeah. I won't tell you on which place it especially is. So, let's dive into Exodia Necros. The explanation why it is one of my 5 favorite top monster cards of all time. Because back in the day, I was watching the anime, Duel Monsters anime, and everybody was hyped about Exodia and was bragging about having it in their decks, maybe one piece or two pieces, or even all 5 of them, which 1 or 2 dudes had. And then we finally got to the Virtual World arc, and Exodia Necros came out, and many guys watched it, and we were all hyped about Exodia Necros when it is coming out in the TCG, and then finally it got out in the TCG in Dark Crisis. So back in the day, I pulled it even as an ultra rare, but this one is of course from the Master Collection Secret Rare, which looks really bad. Just look on the artwork, and with the Secret Rare effect, it even looks more sinister after my opinion, because it looks a lot more mysterious and foggy in combination with the painting of the Secret Rare print. It's one of the factors which makes it the top 5 of my monster cards of all time. But second, of course, it is the effect. It's not a one shot kill like Exodia, but it's still a very strong card, as you have then Exodia in combination with Painful Choice, for example. All pieces on your graveyard. This card cannot be normal summoned as said. This card cannot be special summoned except by the effect of contract with the Exodia, which of course was also coming out and very sad. The spell card we needed in order to take this or to special summon this Exodia Necros onto the field, and it cannot be destroyed by battle. This was one of the effects. It's not affected by only spell or trap cards. And during each of your standby phases, increase the attack of this card by 500 points. So it has 1,800 attack, 0 defense, 4 stars only, and dark attribute, of course. But with each standby phase, it gets 500 attack. So this was outrageous back in the days. It was virtually indestructible. But this card is destroyed when any of Exodia Forbidden One, right arm of the Forbidden One, left arm of the Forbidden One, right leg of the Forbidden One, or left leg of the Forbidden One is not in your graveyard. So all for those guys that watched the anime back in the day knew that this would be ultimately the defeat of Exodia Necros. But still, although many guys saw the series, they still didn't they didn't really use this effect, because I had Exodia Necros in my deck and I played it out, and I was defeated very rarely, as I remember. So one of the many reasons why I love this card so much. But yeah, it's very badass still to this day because Exodia was very mystical, but this mystical and dark as well. It had some very, very hilarious artwork. That's why it is my fifth place top five favorite monsters of all time. So let's get to the fourth. Of course, you might imagine that Winged Dragon of Ra would also be in this list. Winged Dragon of Ra back in the days was really, really something else. It didn't exist at all. We had just, I think, it just existed in one only set, and it wasn't playable. It was in yellow and had all these question marks on the attack and defense stats, and yeah, you couldn't summon it. It was not playable, and also it was more mystical than anything else. And of course, the Battle City season, everyone was hyped about this card and all its um, significant effects because it does have many effects in the series, and it was really uncommonly outspoken to have this card in the possession, and then everyone had a lot of respect for one of the three big boss monster cards. And I think back in the day, very late, I got it and I was so damn proud about having it. Some dude had it before me 1 or 2 years, and everybody in the school was looking at the card. Wow, look at the Egyptian boss monster card. Wow, look at it. Wow, it's so badass artwork and it's very powerful and all that bragging. He was so arrogant. And we, of course, played it back in the day with the anime effect, or he did play it, and then won. And no one was wondering. Of course, just look at the artwork, and I think this was one of the many cards that just speaks for itself. Everyone who saw the Duel Monsters season, Battle City, or one of the other ones as well. I mean, not Virtual World, but Orichalcos season. Yeah, who knows? Or maybe even the Dawn of the Duel season knows why this card is amongst the best of all cards of all time, and of course my personal favorites of all time as well. Well, number 3. Now we got our Vampire Lord. Vampire Lord was one of the very cards that I wanted to draw of the Dark Crisis set because it was the most rarest one. I bought so many boosters until I finally pulled it out of the Dark Crisis, and I was so damn proud having it in my deck. And Secret Rare, of course, the effect of Vampire Lord was most convenient, and I also had always a fable for vampires. So even as I was 9 or 10 years old, I loved vampires. So then I love the artwork. He's very, very cunning and but also majestic. I look at it, he's like a kingly leader of noble blood. So I loved it from the artwork as well. It has only 5 stars, so you just have to have 1 tribute, and its effect is so cool because this card returns if it is being destroyed. Not destroyed by battle, but if it's destroyed by a card effect and brought onto the graveyard, so an effect of a monster card or a spell or a trap card, then it's brought back onto your deck standby phase and special summoned on your side of the field. So you just only could destroy it by battle, and then it wouldn't return. And then it had another additional effect. If it makes battle damage to your opponent, then you can declare one monster, one card type monster, spell, or trap card, and your opponent has to and choose one of this type. You have to choose one, and he has then discard one of these cards from his deck to the graveyard. So if you click, for example, declared monster, he has to take one monster from his deck to the graveyard. If you declare a spell card, he has to take a spell card, and if you declare a trap card, then he has to has to take one of his traps from his deck to the graveyard. So yeah, it was very, very, I would not say OP, but it was one of the strongest cards back in the day. So this is my number 3. Actually, this was number 1, but yeah, another card is a little bit, has a little bit more value, you might say. But if I didn't have to make a top 5, all those 5 cards would be my number 1. But I had to make a rank it a little bit. So yeah, I would call it like that, because back in the day, this was my favorite card. Of course, Jinzo, the very card that Joey Wheeler did win in the Battle City duel against against Esparoba. 6 stars, Dark Attribute, a machine type with 2,400 attack and 1,500 defense. I had to get so much boosters to finally pull this one out. I think about a half year, every second day I bought some boosters, and then finally I made it. I was so hyped about it that I got fever in the very night, because I was screaming half the day and was enjoying myself. Because Jinzo was so OP back in the day. Of course, it has the effect to negate and to block all trap cards on the field. And then back in the day, I also pulled Amplifier. I think it was from Ancient Sanctuary, and then it just blocked the trap cards from your opponent. And I always combined which of the Black Forest, if it was destroyed, I always, with the 1,500 defense, I always took Jinzo into my hand. And many times I won with this combination the very games against my best friend and my cousin from Castle. So yeah, this is why this card still means very much to me. And I would rather even say it is place 1 with the other card that I have also. But yeah, as I have to make give my YouTube name some reputation, the number 1 is, who can guess it? You might speculate, what is my YouTube name? Yes, of course, Slifer Maniac is my YouTube name, and that's of course there for a very big reason, because Slifer, the Sky Dragon, is my favorite monster card of all time. Back in the day, also Slifer just existed like a red card that was not playable in the tournaments. Neither was it playable in a private duel, because we had to take its anime effect, because there was no TCG exclusive effect, which was far more better than like the errata. It's weakened that much, because you have to combine it, of course, with other cards as well. So Slifer the Sky Dragon is of course very special to me, as one of the 3 Egyptian boss monster cards. Yeah, look at the artwork. I love the artwork. It has 2 mouths, and it's of course my favorite color is red, glowing red. So you might imagine this makes all the sense in the world. And if you see the background, I didn't ever look at the background. It's a little bit mystical Egyptian signs on it, so it makes it even more cool and interesting for me. Of course, I have to not to state that it has 10 stars. It is in divine type. Divine has a divine effect, of course. Question mark attack and question mark defense. Of course, like Winged Dragon of Ra as well, with 10 stars and divine effect. And as I already said, I won't now explain the difference between the effects in the TCG and the original anime, because yeah, would be a little bit long, because Slifer, and especially the Winged Dragon of Ra, has very many effects to put into play, and yeah, in the TCG they cut it a little bit shorter. Yeah, so this was my top 5 favorite monster cards of all time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button, give me some love, show me the comment, tell me which top 5 your personal favorites are, monster cards of all time. And maybe one or even all of them are included in my list. So, and like always, I say, good day, good night, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you might say and witness this video. This is, for me, today, your Slifer Maniac. And as already stated, I will be doing the character this week, next week. So I have a break for this week in correlation to that, but don't bother, it won't end. I will be doing it just next week. It's just postponed until next week, which of course starts tomorrow. So this is, for me, all I have to say for this top 5 favorite monster cards of all time. You're Slifer Maniac.